Welcome back to another episode of The Weedy Garden, where today we're taking a special trip down memory lane. It's a little before and after video with a few practical tips on how to maintain a food forest and a veggie garden. We're going to revisit the humble beginnings of my garden and watch its remarkable transformation over the past few years. Sit back and let's embark on this incredible journey together. Today, as I stand here in awe of what my garden has become, I'm overwhelmed with a sense of gratitude and accomplishment. The once empty plot of land up here on the hill has been transformed into a haven teeming with life. A living statement to the power of action, which proves to everyone that you can start with knowing nothing. And here's the most incredible part. I want to show you that if you start today, like right now, your garden can flourish in ways you've never imagined. In just 3 short years, this humble patch of soil has blossomed into a thriving oasis of produce, flavours and memories. It all started during a time when the world seemed to be in chaos, a time that none of us will ever forget. Today I'm going to show you how I planted this mango tree and why it's going to be so happy with this view in this spot and what I got under here. Look how big it is now. It needs a bit of attention though, so I think I'm going to put some mulch around it and give it a bit of a trim, and I'm going to bring these branches down, see? I'm going to tie a bit of string on these and open it out a bit so it's got a nice crown. Little mango tree needs a little bit of loving care. I'm going to put some wood chips around this and give it a little trim and a little form and a little shape. Well, they get pretty big, those mangoes. Yeah, well, they can actually be up to 500 years old if they've got the perfect spot. Little mango tree. The first lockdown. I remember scrolling through social media and coming across those viral videos of people scrambling to get rolls of toilet paper from the supermarket shelves. It was a sight that left me pondering. What if the frenzy was about something more important, something we couldn't live without, like food? That very thought ignited a spark within me, and I decided to seize the opportunity that circumstance had presented. It was time to turn my long-held dream into a reality. A veggie garden that would not only provide nourishment, but also symbolise resilience, self-sufficiency, and the power of nature's abundance. I had a feeling that I was not the only one captivated by this idea. I bet there were many thinking the same thing. But I also knew that many might not have the means, the space, or even the opportunity to start a garden at that moment. That's when a thought struck me like a ray of sunlight through the clouds. Why not document this remarkable journey so that one day I could share it with everyone who might have the same dream, to show that it's easy and doable. and my worm farm. A little tip I can tell you about Wormville is this little, you can hear it in the background, I've got a solar panel up there with a cable going down to a little pump here. And this little pump is a little pump that pumps air into my bucket. You can see here, here it is, see? You can hear it pumping air. If we stick it in the bucket, it's pumping air through all my microbes. Keeps them aerated, keeps them aerobic. Because if I just let it sit without those little bubbles going through it, it just becomes all rotten, which I kind of don't like. What it's doing is it's blowing air into my tank here, so I don't have to keep manually emptying it and pouring it through to keep it aerated. They've eaten hundreds and hundreds of kilos of food scraps since I put it in, and they're still there. And I can put this straight on the garden as much as I want without any problem. And I'll show you that I do that. I'll just, where should I pour this? I'll just pour it on my pineapple. Okay. I'll take this off. I like my worms. I like the worm juice. It's really good for the garden, full of beneficial bacteria just in that juice there. One thing is actually a good little tip to do if you want to get more of these bacteria in your garden. So what happens when they leach through the system and fall into the juice here, there's only a few of them, the unlucky ones that kind of fell through, you see. So what you can do is you can grab a nice big handful of this, try and don't get too many worms in it, and then you put in a bucket of water and then you spray the hose in it really heavy. Spray the hose in and get it all mixed up like that, and that'll just knock all the bacteria and all the microbes off the material into the water, and then you can pour them on and it's like 100 times more microbes. What's next? And this one I put down is the Panama berry, which is giving berries now, and it has been for months now. I'll pick a handful and show you. And I've got to prune this tree as well, and I'll show you on one of the next episodes how I'm going to prune it so I can reach pretty much all the fruit when it fruits. Panama berry tastes like bubble gum. And look at this tree, how big it's got since I planted it. So, a couple there. Only took me about 30 seconds. Now I just got to start digging. Oh, this shot is almost the same shot, but there's too much sugarcane behind you, so I can't put the camera in there. But I wanted to mention about the swales. A few people have said, what about the mosquitoes breeding in the swales? Well, that could be in some places like that, if you've got a big swale and you've got clay soil and the water sits in the swale for a long time. But here, in the weedy garden, the topsoil is probably about this thick, and underneath that there is a layer of clay. So when it rains, it lands in the swales for a little while, especially if it's heavy rain, but then it just seeps down through the topsoil quite quickly. So it doesn't sit and lay in the swales enough to attract the mosquitoes. So we don't get mosquitoes in the swales. Yeah. I grew this one from a seed in the ground, little labo. So, and I'll give it a bit of that yummy soil on top. A couple of handfuls. A mixture of composted cow manure and blood and bone. A lot of my avocado trees died because the wallaby ate the bark around them. So I'm going to protect this one. It's been lucky, it's been safe so far, but I'm still going to put a protector on it. And I'm going to give it a little prune, and I'm going to give it a bit of food and a bit of water. So I might just move the camera back a bit so you can see what I'm doing. I've got a bit of compost here and some cow manure and some alpaca manure. I'm going to put it on this side of the swale because I don't want it to just run downhill like that, see? We don't want the bottom of the trunk to have wood chips around it, but we want a nice thick layer around the tree. I think I'll put another wheelbarrow full there. Now I'm going to trim it down. Basically just chop the top off this so I can reach the fruit. It's pretty simple. I think I'll take it there. Whew. Then I can just put these on top here. Okay, now I want to put on this little protector for the wallet from the wallabies so it doesn't get ring barked. Just going to put this on and then just wrap it around with my fingers. That should hold it. And it's loose as well, so the tree's going to grow and it won't hold it. And I'll just take it off later. I wanted to show you these beautiful butternut pumpkins and how I got them growing. Yeah, Chuckies, you want some? This one's a nice one. See? Come on. Come on. Want some? One encouraging word I'd like to say basically is that it is very easy. People love to help, especially gardeners. So wherever you are in the world, you can ask any gardener that's been growing food in your area and they probably know a few things to start you off. I didn't know anything when I started my vegetable garden, and look at it now. Once you start, you can't give it up really. I forgot to feed this girl, so I'll just put a bit of compost around her, and that'll keep the bandicoot happy tonight. Come in and get all these compost worms. Compost, the garden's best friend. We want to make sure that can breathe, so we just dig out the base of it here. Otherwise the base of the trunk will get all mouldy and rotten. So my friends, whether you've always dreamed of having your own garden or have only just discovered the magic of growing your own food, I invite you to join me on this journey. Together let's nurture our souls and our soils, create abundance and inspire others to embark on their own gardening adventures. Thanks for joining me today on this incredible journey. I'm glad I could share it with you. Remember, it all starts with a single seed, a dream, and the determination to make it real. So get your hands dirty and embrace the beauty of nature. Have a nice day and I'll catch you later. GoPro, stop recording.